Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Welcome to the online video session of MA-JMC, that is Journalism and Mass Communication. Today we are going to discuss the basic 1 English language and communication skills of MA in Journalism and Mass Communication, and we are going to discuss unit number 4, that is known as pronoun, which we start discussing right now. I am in front of you Dr. Ushma A. Bhatt, the Assistant Professor of English and Communication Skills. Let us start our work. Let us see that we are going to discuss unit 4, pronouns, language skills for journalism, basic English 1. You can see the code over here. The code is 01 of the paper. Before undertaking journalistic writing, one needs to understand and learn, master the correct usage of English. The usage of correct English is very initial, fundamental, and the primary need to communicate anywhere effectively. So, very first thing in journalistic writing deals with the right, proper, correct, error-free usage of English language. Let us discuss it with the fundamentals of English language. We know that English language fundamentally can be learnt with the usages of grammar and the techniques of grammar. So, today we are genuinely going to discuss some important terms of grammar. Learning the grammar, the basic is parts of speech, the difference between pronouns and other parts of speech, pronoun known as the subset of noun, pronouns eliminate the repetitions in English language or in writing as well, and a pronoun is a word that can replace the noun. So, all the concepts related with the pronoun that which we are going to discuss right now over here in this unit number 4. The unit number 4 is known as pronouns. So, we are going to discuss the types of pronouns, the parts of pronouns, the fundamental characteristics of pronouns, what is the meaning of the pronoun, the concept of pronoun, and of course, we have to deal with the functioning of the pronouns in the sentences, how the pronoun is utilized, how the pronoun is used in the sentence, that also we need to discuss in this session. For example, if you are going to write or speak on any topic, you can avoid repetitions. Look here, there is an example of Shakespeare. Shakespeare is known to be the great dramatist. Shakespeare has given the literature for the world. Shakespeare's contribution regarding the dramas, as well as he comes over here because one needs to avoid the repetition. When I am going to deliver the talk about Shakespeare, how many times it happens that I may utilize Shakespeare, 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 Shakespeare. It is not genuinely going to become. One needs to avoid the repetitions, and because you need to avoid the repetition, there is a need of another word that could be replaced with the main noun. Shakespeare is a name, it's the noun in the sentence, and what can be the another word which you can utilize for the word Shakespeare? And generally we use that he had written 36 dramas, he had written the dramas and tragedies and comedies. So, he shows that Shakespeare could be replaced with the WORD word he, and that is the secret of pronoun. The pronoun has the technique to replace the noun. A pronoun is a word that can replace a noun and sometimes even another pronoun. Another pronoun could also be removed and there can be the utilization of another pronoun. Pronoun can be the another word for the pronoun also. It also is a very important term which we are going to discuss right now. Look, in the second point you can say we use pronouns like he, which, none and you, so that our sentences can be simple and less repetitive. Now he, which, none and you, almost all the four pronouns we should utilize in the sentence. As for example, he is the teacher of Nirma University. This is the book which I had read 3 times. None other than you can do this task. You are the most sincere learner and listener of this session. So these are the sentences where you can see that the role of the pronoun is exactly where noun is kept. The role of the pronoun, the place of the pronoun, the meaning of the pronoun, of course, is as per the noun could be understood. Our sentences can be simple and less repetitive. The functioning of pronouns is to remove the repetitions, to remove the complexity of the sentences. If you want to make a simple, easy sentence, you can utilize the pronouns. If you want to make an ambiguous, complex statement, use the nouns. So it is very clear in front of you that the pronouns are the easiest terms in the usages of grammar. The most important factor is how you talk, how you put your ideas in front of others, and tone. Dynamic word choice and emphasis matters. Look, how you are going to talk with others, how you put your ideas, what is the tone in your pronunciation or in your delivering of speech, your intonation, your dynamic usage or usage with the lower tone or word or choice or emphasis of the words. Every particular thing matters when you are going to deliver a talk in the mass, in front of the mass, or you are writing for the mass media and journalism purpose, because both the things are similar. Both are going to work universally, unanimously in front of the group of people. So naturally one should be very much cautious while delivering the words. The easiest way to be very cautious, that is, usage of sentences should be very simple. If you use simple sentences, there won't be any more ambiguity and your idea, your tone, your passing of the message, your delivering the views would be very easy and simple and very serious as well as sincere when you utilize the simple words. How it can happen? Look, here it is said simple words, simple sentences, simple, less repetitive, but how it could be done? The easiest way to make the sentence simple is usage of pronouns, usage of pronouns of different kinds. We are going to learn now different types of pronouns. You know that the pronoun is utilized for the word noun. As for example, Shakespeare is the dramatist. Then there will be the next sentence, he is the dramatist of England. So naturally he is utilized for pronoun, but there are many other pronouns which we are going to see right now. What are the interrogative pronouns? What are the reflexive pronouns? What is the usage of possessive pronoun? What's the meaning of personal possessive pronoun? All these things we have to understand right now in this session one by one. So first thing is clear in your mind that pronoun replaces noun, and it is very much useful to make your speech or sentences or writing easiest, easy to understand and simple. The most important factor is how you talk, that which we had already discussed. Now, the last one, pronouns actually reflect status. Look, as we are going to discuss this topic of pronoun, we need to see that how it affects the mind also. What actually happens, happens when you utilize the pronouns in front of the mass, or you write the pronouns in your journalistic writing, in your professional writing, in front of the mass, to the class, to the people of hundreds of people. What actually happens? So, let us see how the pronoun works psychologically in the minds of the reader. What actually happens to readers when the readers read or listen the pronouns? Look, the psychological study says that to understand how the words people use in their daily interaction, if you want to study the human being, if you want to see the mindset or his psyche, or whether he or she is of cool-minded or passing from the tense situation, or he is stressful or he is stress-free, then you can see this by observing the words. The psychological functions of words. The person whose use of I words is lower tends to be the higher status participant. Look, as for example, if a person is using I frequently in his speech, then it seems that he is the person of higher status participant, but his tone is lower. Now, there is a case of women. Basically, women mostly use the first person singular pronoun more than men do. Generally, it happens that men try to avoid the first person pronoun, but women are fond of utilizing the first person singular pronoun, because female tribe is more self-focused than men. It is a general psychological survey. It is written in books, in your books of MA-JMC. So, we are providing you the data from the books. Previously, the concept women have traditionally held lower status positions. It was why it happens. You see that female is mostly utilizing I word, as for example, I in the sentence, or first person singular, like I, me, mine, myself. These words are utilized because previously there was the concept that women should hold lower positions in the ancient history, and that is why, due to that concept, right now also in their speeches this generalization is found. The psychological observations are done by the psychologists and linguists, and they are telling this and delivering this data to us. The study found that depressed people use I more frequently than those who are not depressed. If a person is in depression and he is utilizing I a lot in his speech or in his writing, it is the symptom of depression. It is found in the psychological survey. Personal pronouns. Now look, why we discuss the psyche? Because psyche genuinely affects the writing. That's why one has to understand the psyche of the reader and writer also. The writer's psyche is reflected in the writing, and the reader's psyche would going to decode the writer's psyche. That's why we have to discuss the psychological side of the pronouns when we are learning the topic. Now we are going to discuss the types of pronouns. There are many types of pronouns: personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, interrogative pronouns, demonstrative pronouns. All these are going to be discussed right now in this slide. Personal pronoun. Look, It refers to a specific person or thing, and it changes its form to indicate person, number, gender and case. As for example, if you utilize the word I, it shows one person. Then you utilize we, it shows that we is a group of people, two or more than two. Then you utilize one, it shows again the number. Then there is a utilization of gender also when they use her or their, herself, herself or themselves. So, gender and case is also going to be discussed with the word pronoun. Now, different forms of personal pronouns, we are going to understand the types of personal pronouns. Here there is a list of subjective personal pronouns: I, you, when, he, they, we, you. These are the subjective personal pronouns, in the sense they are utilized for the sentences where words could be kept, nouns could be kept, and they could be replaced with these words. Then there comes the objective personal pronouns: me, you, her, him, it, us, you and them. Now, the difference between subjective personal pronouns and objective personal pronouns is very clear, because subjective pronouns, they deal with the main part of the sentence, the noun part of the sentence, and objective personal pronouns are going to be utilized at the place of object. As for example, I have to give you one example of subject plus verb plus object. She has the chocolates. He reads the books. So, she has the chocolates and he reads the books. Both these sentences are having the format of she has the chocolates, means subject plus verb plus object, chocolates. He reads the books, means he is subject, reads, that shows the verb, and the books shows the object. So, S plus V plus ob. Now, again, if the sentences of she has the chocolates and he reads the books could be replaced with the pronouns, what would be the sentences? Let us see. She has the chocolates, in the sense she has it. He reads the books, in the sense he reads it. So, both the words, the chocolate and the book, are replaced with the objective personal pronoun it. Now, you understand that, you have to understand that me, you, her, him, it, us, you and them, all these are the objective personal pronouns, and they could be utilized for the purpose of the object in the sentence. Where there is an object in the sentence, you can put these pronouns and remove the noun, and you can put these pronouns. Let me take one very easy example. The teacher likes John. The teacher likes John. Now, again, let us see the sentence. He means the teacher. He likes John means he likes him. John could be utilized with him also. Now, the same sentence we can put the names and we can see the teacher likes him. If we put the name, the teacher is Parulben. Parulben likes John, then the sentence could be she likes him. So, the easiest way to understand the personal pronoun and the objective personal pronoun could be with the places of the subject and object. Where there is subject, you can put subjective personal pronoun. Where there is object, you can put objective personal pronouns. So, I think the concept is very easy, and you should do one thing in case of this topic. Take each personal pronoun and write 5, 6, 10 sentences of each personal pronouns, subjective as well as objective. Now let us see the sentences. Look, I have told you to write the sentences, and here we come across the sentences. The king took the girl away and forced her to marry him. Look, there is her and him, the objective personal pronouns. The king took the girl away and forced her. Her in the sense the girl is the object and her is utilized, that is objective personal pronoun. Her to marry him. The king is the subject and there comes the pronoun him. So it is subjective personal pronoun. Now there is another sentence. After reading the book, she kept it on the table. After reading the book, she kept it on the table. The book is replaced with the word it. So here again you can see that her, him and it are the pronouns which are utilized in the sentences to show the importance of the noun and to replace the nouns in these sentences. Here we are going to discuss now the possessive pronouns. The word possess itself shows that it could be with some important things which one has to show that they are of his or her capacity. You can use the word possess when there is a supernatural element in the novels of Virginia Woolf or in the novels of Emil Bront and Charlotte Bront, where she has showed that some of the characters were possessed. Possessed in the sense they are under the control of some supernatural element, and here it happens with the possessive personal pronouns. When possessive personal pronoun is utilized, it tries to, these pronouns they are tried to be controlled by the nouns. Nouns are playing the role of possession to the pronouns, and pronouns become the possessed personal pronouns. That means the possessive personal pronouns. Here I am going to tell you how it happens. Look, the sentences are written over here and you have to put the personal pronouns, possessive personal pronouns in each sentences, and then you will be in a condition to understand the topic easily. The scarf you are wearing is mine. The pen you are using, the pen you are watching, I am telling you, the pen you are watching is mine. The purse is yours. Hers is in the wardrobe. Hers means her purse is in the wardrobe. Her purse is in the wardrobe and her purse is removed, and there comes the pronoun hers is in the wardrobe. Ours were not there. Our relatives were not there. If there is a sentence, our relatives were not in the function, then you can put the same sentence with the pronouns. Our relatives means ours. Were not in the function, were not in the function is removed, and there comes the word there. Ours were not there. The general concept, look, when we are going to discuss the pronouns, we need to see the general concept of the pronouns. Myself, themself, himself, yourself, herself, ourselves, themselves, itself. So all these are the personal pronouns which are utilized for the subjective and objective purpose. These are the, of course I have to tell you one important thing. Look, focus on these pronouns and remember very well in your mind that these are the possessive personal pronouns. Possessive personal pronouns: myself, themself, himself, yourself, herself, ourselves, themselves, itself. These are mere assumptions, so please do not be pertinent enough to follow these strictly. Now look here, these are mere assumption. There is a wrong concept in the mind of the learners that they believe that a pronoun can refer only to the nearest noun. It doesn't happen. The pronoun could be utilized for the noun which is not even used in the sentences, and there can come the be the position of the pronoun. A pronoun in a clause cannot refer to a noun in another clause. It happens that at one clause the pronoun is utilized and it can be referred to the another clause also. As for example, I told you that ours were not there, our relatives were not in the function, ours were not there. There is in the function, there is the replacement of the clause in the function, and it could be again utilized also when there comes another clause. Antecedent of a pronoun cannot lie in a preposition phrase. Look, this is also a mere assumption. It's a myth kind of an assumption that antecedent of a pronoun cannot lie in a preposition phrase. Antecedent means the word which is used before the pronoun, or antecedent should always appear before the respective noun. It also never happens. Sometimes it happens, and sometimes there are free sentences where you cannot utilize the word antecedent, or you will not come across the respective noun or pronoun, and you use the words without noun and pronouns also. You know the imperative sentences, there isn't any noun, there isn't any pronoun, and you use the words with imperative effect. So these are merely assumptions and one should not follow it sincerely, but language is a flexible thing and language has many changes and it is constantly and continuously having changes. Language has a natural proclivity to change at every particular interval. So these rules are not the final ones. You can say that pronouns go or pronouns reflect or pronouns function in the same concept or same watertight compartment. It does not happen. Reflexive pronoun. Look, a reflexive pronoun is used to refer back to the subject of the clause or the sentence. Look, either the clause or the sentence is replaced and there comes the reflexive pronoun. As for example, there is a sentence, she is the girl who stood first in the whole standard. The girl who stood first in the whole standard, she is the girl. So who reflects the whole clause and there comes the sentence. There comes the word who. Who is the reflexive pronoun. The children must protect themselves from the cold. The director himself answered the phone. I myself took the initiative and solved the problem. He is to blame himself for the situation he is in. So here you see that himself, myself, himself again and themselves, all these four words are reflexive pronouns. Now after the reflexive pronouns we have to discuss interrogative pronouns. It is used to ask questions. These interrogative pronouns are who, whom, which, what, whose, when, whom, and compound words with the suffix ever are whoever, whichever, whomever, whatever, whomsoever. All these are the compound words which also can be kept under the category of the pronouns. Who, whom or which can also be used as a relative pronoun. They are the students who we called today. She is the cousin whom I told you last week. This is the place which I wanted to visit years ago. This is the thing which I wanted to share to you years ago. So all this who, whom or which can also be used as a relative pronoun. Who, whom and which are used to refer to people even, and which and what are used, which I told you for the things and what I told you for the animals and things. Both which and what could be used for things and animals. What do you want for dinner? Look, what is used for dinner? So naturally, think. I wonder what we are doing tomorrow. What in the sense action, what action or what tasks we are going to do tomorrow. What is your friend's name? What is the name? What also reflects the name of the human being. What time are we supposed to be there? What shows the time factor and what is related with the time factor also. So it is pronoun. What, which, whom are known to be the pronouns which we had learnt right now. But of course you can say that when you utilize this is the girl or that, this and that could also be included in the chart in this session, which are used and which are known as demonstrative pronouns. Which color do you prefer? I prefer black. Whom do you live with? I live with my cousins. Whose sweater is this? The sweater is it is John's sweater. So naturally the answers show that these are the reflections of the noun, and the same thing when the answers are of the nouns, naturally you will understand that these are the pronouns because they reflect the nouns. Now only technique of learning this session is practice, practice and practice. Means you have to use and create hundreds of sentences, 400, 500 sentences and plenty of sentences, several sentences make you clear the topic of nouns and pronouns and how the pronouns could be reflected as a reflexive noun or possessive noun or demonstrative noun in the topic. So, goodbye all. God bless you.